signed his contract as a new Manchester United player, and it doesn't stop there. Apparently United are now focusing on Manuel Ugarte, with a deal expected to be done in the next week as Manchester United want him on their pre-season tour. Tottenham come knocking for McTominay, plus all of the latest on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, plus lots more. These are just some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on this evening's episode. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6 p.m. UK time. Currently, only 50% of people who watch our videos are subscribed. So if you're one of those who isn't currently subscribed, make sure you get involved. It's the best way to keep up to date with all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Right. It is a good day. Everyone's feeling positive. The mood is good. And I am a very happy man. Let's start off with Leny Yoro, shall we? Because how can we avoid that? How can we avoid this monumentous moment for Manchester United? It was confirmed about an hour ago by Fabrizio Romano that Leny Yoro has now signed his contract as an official Manchester United player. We're expecting the official announcement from Manchester United, you know, the pictures of him in the shirt, maybe an interview, probably in the next couple of hours. It might even be whilst we're live. You might be watching this video now saying, oh, it's already been announced. Well, there you go. He's here. He's a Manchester United player. He signed a 5-year contract. £42 million is what we've paid Lille, plus £10 million in potential add-ons, some of which are achievable, very achievable, sorry, and some of which are slightly more harder. So it might be like win the Premier League, win the Champions League, whatever it might be. Obviously, we hope that all of these add-ons are achieved, because effectively, if these add-ons are achieved, it means that he's done well. So I have no problem with the fee. I can see some people already, rival fans, trying to troll us, saying like, you paid £42 million for an 18-year-old from the French league. I mean, who cares? Why does that matter? Mbappe's played in the French league his whole career. Does that mean he's a bad player? Messi's never played in the Premier League. Does that mean he's a bad player? Like, I just think this whole narrative is just pretty bad, to be honest. Leny Yoro was literally the standout centre-back of the French league last season. What's all the hate about? And I think, you know, in the Man United fan base, everybody is excited about this transfer. But obviously the jealous fans, the Man City fans, the Liverpool fans, even some Chelsea fans, I've seen PSG fans, I've seen Real Madrid fans, I've seen all of them crying. You paid this amount of money for this player. You gave him 115 grand a week when really he was only on 5 grand a week at Lille. We've just signed one of the best centre-backs in the world of his age, and somebody who is predicted to go on to be literally in the top 10 centre-backs in the world, probably in the next couple of years, a generational talent. But yet there's still people out there. You've got the Sky Sportses of the world. You've got the Talk Sports. All they're focused on is the price. That's all they care about. How much money we've spent. Why have we spent so much? Like, it's just embarrassing, and we've got to see right through it. They're all talking crap, and we have got ourselves a generational talent here with Leny Yoro. So make sure everybody gets in the comment section right now and writes the words, welcome Leny Yoro. Get them in the comments. Yeah, go and do that right now if you haven't already. Welcome Leny Yoro. Stick it in the comment section. Maybe stick the France emoji as well if you're feeling adventurous. Why not? Go for it. Yeah, really happy about this. So yeah, Fabrizio Romano's come out. Let me just read out what he said for you. He says, Leny Yoro has just signed his contract as new Manchester United player. He says the deal is now completed both on club side and player side, and Lille are exchanging all the documents today. He says Yoro signs at Manchester United until June 2029. He says all medical tests have now been passed. The saga is over. So we've got our man. Amazing news. So happy. And the best thing about this is he will be available for the pre-season tour. We go away to America next Thursday, I think it is. He's going to be on that tour. Erik ten Hag will have him for about a month before we go to Wembley for the Community Shield. So it's just what we need. Obviously, Martinez is still away because obviously he was at the Copa America. But I'm still really happy that we'll get to see Leny Yoro. I think it's 3 games we've got in America. We've got Liverpool, Man City, and Real Betis. So 3 massive games where Leny Yoro will effectively get his first minutes for Manchester United. I'm not sure whether Martinez will be on that tour. I imagine surely they will. If anybody knows the answer to that question, let me know, because I genuinely don't know. I know all of the players were supposedly supposed to have 3 weeks off. That was kind of like a rule that was set. And if that's the case, then maybe he won't be on the tour. But if anybody knows the answer, let me know in the comment section. I mean, they literally only finished on Monday morning. The Copa America final was. So 3 weeks from then would be the 5th of August. So maybe he won't be part of the preseason tour. Maybe Kobe Mainoo won't. Maybe Luke Shaw won't. I'm not entirely sure. If there's anybody in the comment section who knows the answer to this question, please let me know, because I actually don't know the answer to this. Yeah, hopefully they are, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section below. Mark says that Xerxes apparently going to wear the number 11 shirt. MUFC Charlie says Aaron Wan-Bissaka out, McTominay out, and Lindelof out. We'll talk about all three of those in a minute. Most people are just saying welcome Leny Yoro, which is what we want. Positivity. We've got our man. Let's see what else people are saying. Most people are saying that everyone's just hating because they're jealous. Yeah, of course they are. All the rivals are looking at Manchester United thinking they're actually starting to be run like a proper football club, right? We have been awful for the last decade, and that's because we've been run terribly. Ineos, Dan Ashworth, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, they've only been here not very long. I mean, Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth have only been here like a month. Omar Barada only started last week, and they're already making serious moves. They've probably impressed me more in the space of a month than what Ed Woodward, John Murtagh, and Richard Arnold did in the last 10 years. And I'm not even joking. I'm being deadly serious. Like, they are making me every minute of the transfer window look at them and think, what the hell is going on? I don't recognise my football club anymore. I don't. And that's a good thing. And the rival fans are also scared. You can tell the rival fans are literally bricking it at the moment. They're worried about us. Does it mean we're going to win the league next season? Probably not, but they are still scared. And we do have the momentum, and we are going to continue signing more players, as well as getting rid of the players who are surplus to requirements. So we can't really ask for much more from Ineos, as far as I'm aware, for the first kind of however months of their reign. But yeah, how do you guys rate the Ineos reign so far? It'll be interesting to get your opinions on this. Like, I'm not going to do it like out of 10. Just let me know your honest thoughts. Are you impressed with what you've seen from Ineos so far? You know, bringing in Ruud van Nistelrooy, Rene Haak. We've got a new training ground. We've got, players on big wages leaving. I'm really impressed. If I was to give it a rating, I'd give it like 9 out of 10, genuinely. And maybe people are thinking I'm getting a bit excited, but yeah. People are asking about the video about Leny Yoro. Yeah, I couldn't upload it because of copyright, unfortunately. It had loads of clips of him playing football, and I tried to upload it and it said that I would get a copyright strike, so I didn't upload it. So unfortunately, that video will never be seen. Everyone who's just joined the video, if you could do me a small favour and smash a like, that would be really, really appreciated. I've set a likes target of 1,000 for today's video. If everybody who's watching now likes the video, we will hit that target. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. We're only 2 subscribers away from 30,700. So please go and subscribe if you haven't already. And I am now going to get on with the rest of the show. So the Manchester Evening News this evening are reporting that apparently Manchester United are looking at signing Marc Guéhi. How does everyone feel about that? Apparently he's seen as an alternative option to Matthijs de Ligt. We know that Matthijs de Ligt wants to come to Manchester United. We know that personal terms are agreed and all of those things. But Manchester United effectively wanted Leny Yoro ahead of Matthijs de Ligt. So the Matthijs de Ligt deal has been put on the side for now, let's call it. And apparently Manchester Evening News are reporting literally in the last couple of minutes, that apparently they're now also looking at Marc Guéhi. Obviously, Jared Branthwaite has been priced at stupid money, £80 million, ridiculous. I've seen even Everton fans trying to troll us about Leny Yoro, trying to say like, oh, you should have gone for Jared Branthwaite. And it's like, you're only saying that because you wanted to get £80 million off us. I think even if Jared Branthwaite was the same price as Leny Yoro, right? That's a good question. And I don't want to create negativity, actually, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And this is just a genuine question I want to know the answer to. If Jared Branthwaite was priced at the same price as Leny Yoro, who would you pick? Let me know in the comment section. I'm not going to do a poll because I think it's a little bit toxic maybe, but I genuinely want to know the answer to that question, because the Everton fans are literally laughing at us saying, you've wasted 40 million on an 18-year-old. You should have just got Branthwaite. And I just think they're talking rubbish. Jared Branthwaite has played 1 season in the Premier League for Everton. And that was in an Everton who were towards the bottom of the table. I know they had a points deduction and all the rest of it, but I just think it's honestly embarrassing. And if I had to pick between Leny Yoro and Branthwaite, I would go with Leny Yoro any day of the week. We've got a super chat coming in from MUFC Charlie. MUFC Charlie says Yoro won't be playing pre-season because he's going to the Olympics. I did not know that. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. I had honestly no idea about the Olympics. I know it's happening, but I didn't know that Leny Yoro was going to be part of it. When's he back from that then? Let me know. I'll find your comment, so let me know. And thank you for your support as well. Somebody says, won't Gahey be more expensive than De Ligt? Apparently Crystal Palace are asking for a similar amount of money, about 50 million. Let's do a poll. Who would you rather? So you have two options here. You can have Mark Gahey or De Ligt. Anybody watching the video back on repeat, you can let me know in the comment section. The question is simple. Who would you prefer? Mark Gahey or De Ligt? Let me know your thoughts. It's a hard one. I would probably go with De Ligt just because he's worked with Erik ten Hag before. I think De Ligt is worth a lot more money than the price that we're being quoted. And I think he's only being priced at that because of effectively he's just surplus to requirements at Bayern. And I think if De Ligt comes to Manchester United and he fulfills his potential that we know he has, he's going to be worth way more than the 50 million euros that we're being quoted. So for that reason, I probably would go with De Ligt. I do like Mark Gahey. I think he's a good player. He was probably England's standout performer at the Euros. But yeah, for me personally, De Ligt is the better option. But you can let me know in the comment section, would you go for De Ligt or Mark Gahey? Manchester Evening News reporting this evening that apparently we are interested in signing him. There is also more links as well with Federico Chiesa. Again, apparently Manchester United are still interested in Federico Chiesa. I'm going to be honest here, right? If Jadon Sancho's apologised to Erik ten Hag, they're friends again, and Jadon Sancho works hard, I would much rather have Jadon Sancho than Federico Chiesa. I think Jadon Sancho is a much better player than Federico Chiesa. And I actually think that Jadon Sancho feels like a new signing. I have massive expectations for Jadon Sancho this summer. And at this point, unless we get a big bid for him, I'm talking like £50 million, I would keep Jadon Sancho. Him and Erik ten Hag are friends. There's new coaches around the place. You know, obviously you've got Ruud van Nistelrooy. You've got Rene Haak. Jadon Sancho's obviously reunited with Marcus Rashford. I personally wouldn't swap Jadon Sancho for Chiesa now. Chiesa's available for 25 million euros. Like, I think Jadon Sancho's worth more than that. So I personally wouldn't do the swap deal anymore. I was quite interested in it a couple of weeks ago because I honestly just felt that there wasn't really any other option for Jadon Sancho. If he wasn't going to apologise and Erik ten Hag wasn't going to apologise to him, then the only option we had was to loan him out or to do a swap deal. But obviously now that they're friends again, he's back in training. He should be part of the team that play Rangers on Saturday. Like, he's available for selection again. I would keep Jadon Sancho now, I think. I think he could be a very, very good player for Manchester United. I know it's not worked out so far for Jadon, but he does feel like a new signing to me. You don't get to a Champions League final with Borussia Dortmund and start that game if you're not a very good player. Like, he is a good player. He just doesn't seem to have the right mentality and the right attitude. And we just have to hope that with new people around the club, the Dan Ashworths, the Omar Baradas, the Jason Wilcoxes, the Sir Dave Brailsfords, that they've sat down with Jadon Sancho and said, we want you to be part of our club. We see you as part of the future. Get your act together. And hopefully he does that. If in January we're still sat here and he's, turning up late for training, then obviously you just get rid of him. But I do always feel like in these situations, people deserve a second chance. And I do think that Jadon Sancho, now that he's apologised, now that they're friends, I think a swap deal with Chiesa would just be poor, to be honest. Johnny says Jadon Sancho will be sold. The thing is, right, mate, we tried to sell Jadon Sancho, okay? We tried, but nobody wanted to buy him. So unless stuff changes and Juventus suddenly find some money, or Dortmund suddenly find some money, the reality of the matter is this. A week ago, nobody wanted to buy Jadon Sancho, and now he's back in first team training. Why would they suddenly now turn around and want to buy him? The only reason I can think of is if maybe they get an injury, or maybe they sell some big players. But if you look at like Dortmund, for example, there's not really anybody leaving Dortmund this summer who's expected to bring in a lot of money. It's not like they still have a Jude Bellingham or a Haaland or, a big name player. Whereas it's kind of the same with Juventus. The only player that's really going to leave Juventus is Chiesa. Obviously, Rabiot's gone, but that was a free transfer. So, yeah, I still think it's going to be difficult for these top European clubs to pay Manchester United the money that Manchester United are asking for. I think it'll be very, very difficult. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Obviously, you can get your comments in below about Jadon Sancho. There's loads of people saying, sell Jadon Sancho, he's lazy, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I agree with you. But you could only sell him to somebody who wants to buy him. You can't just say sell Jadon Sancho if no one wants to buy him, you know? It's not like we've just been offered 50 million for Sancho and we've said, no, I want to keep him. The only offer we had on the table for Jadon Sancho was Dortmund on loan or Juventus on loan. That was the only option, you know? That was literally the only option. Clinton says, where is this breaking news about Yoro? Did you get the exclusive? I haven't seen it anywhere else. Mate, it's literally on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter, the most reliable journalist in world football, saying that Leny Yoro has signed his contract as the new Manchester United player. Go and have a look on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter. I'm not by any means claiming that I've been given the exclusive that Leny Yoro signed for Manchester United. It's literally on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter here. I'm reading it. You can go and find it for yourself. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with Jadon Sancho. But as it stands, I really, really can't see anybody paying the money that Manchester United want. And I think that the best option now would be to hope and pray that this season, Jadon Sancho is like a reborn player. He's like a new signing. He comes into that team, he benches Antony, who's clearly not good enough. And that's all we can hope for. You know, there's no other option at this point. If later on in the window, Juventus come knocking and say, here's 50 million, I will take it and run. Don't you worry. But at this point, at the point of recording this video, I just don't think that's going to happen. Morgan says, but the issue is you can't change Jadon Sancho's mentality. Also, he and Erik ten Hag drew a line under the fallout, but Sancho did not apologise to Erik ten Hag or the club or the fans. I would agree with you on the last bit there. I do think that Jadon Sancho needs to come out with some sort of interview or some sort of public apology because, like, even if Erik ten Hag and him have kind of stopped the beef, right? He's still upset a lot of the fans, including myself. A lot of the fans still feel like Jadon Sancho has disgraced the club, disgraced the fan base and all the rest of it. So I do think he needs to come out and do some sort of interview. And I think that probably will happen. Yeah. And it would be interesting to know what... People are asking for a poll on Jadon Sancho. Yeah, we can do that. No problem. So the first poll was this. What would you rather, De Ligt or Mark Gahey? 81% of people watching the video today said that they preferred De Ligt. So that's fine. Thank you very much. And the next poll is going to be this. Somebody's requested it. Should United keep Jadon Sancho or loan him out? Those are the options. So I'm not going to do a poll where it's like, should we sell Jadon Sancho? Nobody wants to buy him. So it's either keep Sancho or loan out Sancho. Those are the two options available to us at the moment. So that's what I'm going to do for the poll, because I think if you give people the option of should we sell Jadon Sancho, everyone's going to say yes, aren't they, realistically? But that isn't the option available to us. Like, we don't have the option to sell him. Otherwise, I would have sold him. Okay, let's move on from that. Before we do that, everyone who has just joined the video, if you could do me a little favour and smash a like. I've set a likes target of 1,000. We've got over 1,100 people watching the show live now, which is absolutely amazing. And we are now only one subscriber away from 30,700. So if this is your first time watching, please go and subscribe. We're live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6. So make sure you get involved here on Daily Red Devil. Okay, let's move on from that though, and let's talk about Manuel Ugarte. So this is coming out from Florian Plettenberg, who is of course a very, very reliable journalist who reports for Sky Sports in Germany. He is reporting that apparently after finalising the signing of Leny Yoro today, so he's also confirmed the deal's done. He says Manchester United are now set to push for Manuel Ugarte. He says that Ugarte is high on Manchester United's list. The player wants to join Manchester United and be part of their project. He says talks with PSG are now ongoing. That's the first bit. And then we have another story coming out in the last couple of minutes from a reliable journalist here in the UK saying that apparently United are now pushing ahead with the signing of Manuel Ugarte. And it says that Manchester United want Manuel Ugarte signed by next week so he can travel for their pre-season tour of America. I mean, if we manage to pull that off, Last week it's Xerxes. This week it's Leny Yoro. And then next week we get Manuel Ugarte. Plus, obviously, we've sold Willy Campoala. We've sold Donny van der Beek. We've sold Mason Greenwood. There's a couple of other people. Varane's gone. If we then also sell Maguire and Lindelof and McTominay, I honestly think it will be the best transfer window in my lifetime. And I'm not even being dramatic here. I genuinely believe that. We've been crying out for ruthless people to come in and to remove all of the players that, let's be honest, are not good enough. People like Lindelof, people like Maguire. McTominay, I'm sorry, I don't think he's good enough to start for Manchester United. I think he's... The position that McTominay plays in, as a CDM and number 6, he's not good enough. As a second striker, I think he's great. But we've got Xerxes, we've got Højlund, we've got Rashford. We don't need McTominay as a second striker. So it'll be interesting to see how this Ugarte deal materialises. At the point of recording this video, the general narrative is that apparently PSG is still demanding 50 million euros for Manuel Ugarte, which is a hell of a lot of money for a player that is effectively... He's not a bench warmer, but, well, yeah, he kind of is a bench warmer, let's be honest. He's surplus to requirements. PSG want to sell him, PSG want to move him on, and they're effectively trying to recoup as much money as possible that they can. They obviously bought him this time last year from Sporting Lisbon for 50 million euros. And they're saying to Manchester United, we will sell him. He wants to join your club, but we want the full 50 million euros back. And it's just whether Manchester United feel comfortable paying that amount of money for Manuel Ugarte. That's the problem, okay? I personally think, now this is my opinion, I have been told it by a few people, that apparently Manchester United are trying to do a loan with an obligation to buy for Manuel Ugarte. Apparently PSG are pushing back on that because obviously they want to sign João Neves. They want to use the money that we're going to give them for for Manuel Ugarte. They want to use that money to go and buy João Neves. We spoke about João Neves on the show earlier on today, and my personal opinion is we need to go and hijack that deal right now. Apparently Benfica are willing to sell him for £62 million or 75 million euros. That deal is available for Manchester United to do right now, and we should be doing that. The worst thing we could probably do is give PSG the money for Manuel Ugarte and then them go and buy our number one target, João Neves. Like, that would be pretty counterproductive, wouldn't it? We've put in 2 bids for João Neves already, supposedly this summer. Like, that's what needs to happen. We've got a super chat coming in from Alex. Thank you for your support, mate. Alex says, who is this club? 3 signings before the tour. Mate, honestly, I feel like we're dreaming. I do. And I know rival fans are laughing at us, saying like you're celebrating an 18-year-old from the French league. I honestly don't care. We've been through so much pain and suffering in the last decade, right? And I know other people will say, oh, well, you won all the trophies in the 90s and all the rest of it. Like, that doesn't matter, right? You live in the moment. And in the moment, Manchester United finished 8th last season. Manchester United lost 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. Manchester United lost 4-0 away to Brentford. Like, the last decade has been pain. Pain, 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 pain. Every transfer window, pain, 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 pain. It's like getting blood out of a stone trying to watch Manchester United do business. But this window is unrecognisable. We're moving like a massive club. And I'm glad you're happy today, Alex. And thank you for your super chat. I feel exactly the same way. I feel proud to be a Manchester United fan. I really, really do. I just feel like we're in the proper hands now, you know? I just feel like there's actually proper people running the football club who have our best interests at heart. And I just feel like that hasn't been the case for the last decade. We all know that. The Glazers have been here leeching off us since they joined the club, since they took over, right? They take out dividends. They only buy players that bring in commercial revenue. Like Leny Yoro doesn't bring in any commercial revenue, really, does he? He doesn't have much of a brand. I mean, let's have a look, right? Let's have a look at Leny Yoro's Instagram. Leny Yoro has got 100,000 followers on Instagram, right? The season before last, we signed Casemiro at the age of 30. Real Madrid didn't want to give him a new contract. And you have to ask yourself, why did we do that? Why did the Glazers think Casemiro was a good signing? Well, it was pretty obvious, really, isn't it? Because Casemiro is a massive brand. Casemiro will open up different brand deals in different continents. He probably brings in as much money in sponsorships as he does in his wages. Genuinely. It's the same with people like Ronaldo, isn't it? Like, if you have someone like Ronaldo at your club, you will make so much money from brand deals. And over the last however many years, all of our signings have been brand signings. It's been how can we make the most money from this club? It has nothing to do with football. Whereas Leny Yoro is a footballing signing. That is pure football. He doesn't have a brand. He's a relatively new name. There's a lot of people watching this video today who've probably never even seen Leny Yoro play football before, and that's fine. I've probably only seen him play about 10 times, mainly in the Conference League. Obviously against Aston Villa, he played a couple of times. And in the French League, I watched him against PSG a couple of times. So I'm not sat here saying I'm some sort of Leny Yoro expert, you know? I've only seen him probably 10 times, like tops in my whole life. But I would much rather us be signing these exciting young talents than going out and buying branded players just because of how many likes they've got on, how many followers they got on social media, and how many likes their post will get when they announce that they've joined, and what new alcohol brands will sponsor us because we've signed them. Like, I'm sick of that. I'm done with that. We are one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? And the priority now is to get us back playing on the pitch, to get us back winning trophies, to get us back in the Champions League and to be competing for those top trophies. I don't care about new sponsorship deals in new territories. Like, we make enough money as it is. I've gone off on a bit of a rant there, so I do apologise, but I think it is important. And I think that's why I feel so emotional and happy about where we are as a club this summer, because I feel like we're actually being run by football people now. And it hasn't felt like that as long as I've been alive, you know? Like, the glory years of Manchester United, I was still like growing up. I was quite young. I can remember going to the games as a kid, but I was a kid, you know, when Manchester United were winning trophies and stuff, winning Premier Leagues and winning Champions Leagues. Like, I was young. I was very young, you know? All of the times that I've been to Old Trafford in the last decade or so, it's been when we've kind of been like challenging for top four, you know? So it just feels great. And it feels like we are on the right path. Obviously, we still have to be patient. Just because we're doing good business now doesn't mean we're going to win the title. It doesn't mean that we're going to, you know, win the Europa League. It's still going to be difficult, but we are setting ourselves up to succeed. And that's what makes me happy, because I just feel like even if we fail now, we know that the people at the top of the club have football as their top interest, not brand deals, not sponsorships and all the rest of it, which obviously is really, really important. But yeah, let me know, how do you feel at the moment to be a Manchester United fan? Like, is this the best you felt in a while? Let me know how you're feeling, because I feel really positive. And I think whenever we do these live videos, the mood at the moment is amazing. Everyone feels great. So yeah, really, really happy about that. Okay, let's move on from Manuel Ugarte. Obviously, I'll keep you updated on that. All being well, Manchester United want him in the club by next week. That's the general gist of it. They're advancing in negotiations with PSG, and I'm hoping and praying that we do this loan with an obligation to buy next summer, something like that. That's what we should be looking to do here, because as I said, any money we give PSG is effectively going to go to Benfica for João Neves. We're effectively going to be funding João Neves to move to PSG. And I would hate for that to happen, because if we got João Neves, that would be a clean sweep, wouldn't it, of players this summer? It would be amazing. Yeah, so just quickly on Leny Yoro as well. He is apparently waiting for his work permit, so he's not going to be available for the game against Rangers on Saturday, just so everyone's aware. Somebody says, do you think we'll end up signing Sofyan Amrabat? You know what, mate? I don't think we're going to get Amrabat now, to be honest. I thought we would. I thought that he was an obvious option. But yeah, I just don't feel like Amrabat's going to come to Manchester United now. He's desperate to come, don't get me wrong. He's not even training at the moment because he wants to force a move. He's available for such a small amount of money. And I just think that if Sofyan Amrabat was wanted by Manchester United, they would have signed him by now. Yeah, so my opinion, again, this hasn't been confirmed by anybody yet, but I don't think Sofyan Amrabat will come to Manchester United. I think we're looking at alternative options, because the thing that Ineos have said publicly, right, and the thing that's widely reported is that they want to sign players under the age of 25. They're doing that because they see more value in these younger players, these hungrier players. And Amrabat's 27, 28. He's a short-term signing. He's someone you bring in for a couple of years. He's a stopgap. He's not he's not someone who's going to be here for the next decade. And I think that's why Manchester United will probably avoid signing Sofyan Amrabat. I think he would have. I thought he would have been a decent signing, but I understand there. You know, if you've got this kind of model that you're not going to sign players over the age of 25, then why would you sign Sofian Amrabat? You know, it's not like he's a world-class player. Why would you break that model in your first transfer window to sign Sofian Amrabat? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not like, I can't think of an example. It's not like someone like Lewandowski or someone's available and you're like, oh, okay, let's do it because he's a free agent, he's a world-class player and all the rest of it. Yeah. Gregory says, do you think Amrabat would be an upgrade? I think he's an upgrade on McTominay. I think he's an upgrade on Eriksen. I think he's an upgrade on Hannibal. Is he an upgrade on Casemiro? Last season, yeah. But if Casemiro finds his form again, then no. And there is actually some breaking news about Casemiro, and this is probably going to upset some people, but it is a news show, and I can't just bring you positive news all the time, unfortunately, because otherwise that would be silly of me. But apparently, the Saudi interest in Casemiro has apparently cooled. When I say cooled, that means like they're not as interested anymore. So I've been saying this for ages. Like, to be fair, the Saudi window only opened yesterday. So it's not like any Saudi club could have signed him before yesterday. But apparently the reports this evening are that Saudi clubs are not that keen on signing Casemiro anymore. That doesn't mean that they won't sign him. This could just be a negotiation tactic, right? It could just be them saying, we don't want him. And then Manchester United say, oh, we want to sell him. And then they get him for less. Like, that is a strong possibility. But I just think that if, you know, Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, whoever, were desperate for Casemiro, they would have agreed a deal by now. It's a relatively easy deal to do. All they have to do is pay him the money, and he would have gone. So lots of people in the chat are saying that they think Casemiro is wanting to stay at the club this summer. Yeah, I mean, Casemiro is a very proud person. You know, he's got an elite mentality, and I know he was poor last season, but apparently he does want to prove himself, because there's nothing worse than in any area of your life but acknowledging that you're not good anymore, or you're not good enough anymore, and that you need to retire. It must be horrible. Like, for a footballer to realise that people are saying that they should retire. People were saying that Casemiro was like watching a charity match, like a Soccer Aid match, and I kind of felt the same, like he was last season. So, yeah, there is obviously the potential that he does still go, but at the moment, Casemiro to Saudi looks very, very quiet. So we'll wait and see what happens. Stefan says, instead of Amrabat, United are looking at Rabiot. Yeah. I mean, that's another good poll, actually. We'll do that now. So the last poll was, should Manchester United keep or loan out Jadon Sancho? 56% of you said keep Sancho and 44% of you said loan. So it's pretty equal. You can obviously let me know your thoughts in the comment section on that one. I'm going to set up another poll. What would you rather? And it's going to be this. It's going to be either Amrabat or Rabiot. Again, you can let me know in the comment section which is your answer. Anybody watching the video live, obviously, you can get involved in the poll. Yeah, so go and get involved in the poll if you're watching live. If you're watching back on repeat, you can let me know in the comment section. What would you prefer, Amrabat or Rabiot? Rabiot has 100% left Juventus. He will not be signing a new contract. He is a free agent. This was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano a couple of hours ago. He is available for nothing, but he wants massive wages. He wants a massive signing on fee, and also his mother wants a massive signing on fee as well. He is 30 in, I think, a couple of months. So he's a little bit older than... Sorry, he just turned 29. So he's 30 next year. He is a little bit older than Amrabat, who's only 27. They're two different players, though. Rabiot's more of a box-to-box midfielder, and I think Amrabat's more of a CDM. So I do think that for what Manchester United are looking for, Amrabat is probably a better fit. I think Rabiot's a better player, but they're different players, you know? And I don't think we really need a Rabiot-type player, because we've got Kobe Mainoo, obviously we've got Bruno, we've got Mason Mount, we've still got people like Eriksen, we've got Hannibal. We've got loads of players who are similar kind of profiles to Adrian Rabiot, whereas we have no players other than Casemiro and obviously Toby Collier, the young player who's coming through the youth academy, who can play as a CDM. So I think, yeah. But just to round up that part of the section, I don't think Manchester United will sign Amrabat now. I'd be very, very surprised. But we'll obviously wait and see what happens. You know, anything can happen in football. I think they're going to go all out for Manuel Ugarte. That's what is being reported this evening, that Ugarte is the priority. They're going to try and sign him by next week, and they're going to try and have him on that flight to America, which I think leaves a week today. So they don't have a lot of time to get the deal over the line. Obviously, a lot of the groundworks with Ugarte has already been done. He's agreed personal terms. He's spoke to Erik ten Hag. He understands his role in the squad and all the rest of it. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But at the moment, it looks like Manchester United are going all out for Manuel Ugarte, which is, in my opinion, the correct decision. But as long as it is a loan with an obligation to buy next year. Yeah, we've got 1,150 people watching the show live now, which is absolutely amazing. Big ups to every single one of you. If you haven't liked the video yet, please go and do that now quickly. We're about halfway to our likes target, so please make sure you do that. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe as well. We hit 30k subscribers yesterday, and we're now close to 31k. So let's see if we can hit 31k by the end of today. Everybody who's watching who isn't subscribed, go and get involved. Live every day, free content. No reason not to get involved. In case, well, obviously if you don't like the content, then don't. But I assume if you're watching, then you do. So yeah, get involved. Okay, what else have we got planned for the show? Right, the next story is about McTominay. And the news on McTominay is that apparently Tottenham have inquired with Manchester United about signing Scott McTominay. I mean, there is genuinely interest in McTominay. Obviously, Fulham had a bid rejected yesterday of £17 million. But apparently Tottenham are looking to hijack the Scott McTominay deal from Fulham as they want to strengthen their midfield. The story says today that apparently now that Tottenham are interested, Manchester United are asking for 30 to 40 million pounds for McTominay. I mean, if there's multiple Premier League clubs who want him, we know that Fulham have submitted a bid, we know that West Ham are interested, and we now know that Tottenham have approached. 40 million, why not? Like, go for it. If you've got 3 clubs battling for his signature who want Scott McTominay, 40 million should be the price. Why not? Tottenham have got money. They got 100 million for Harry Kane last summer and they've not spent it. West Ham have got money. They're about to sell Lucas Paquetá. They sold Declan Rice last year. They didn't spend the money. Fulham just got 50 million for João Paulinho. Like, we can now go to these clubs and say, McTominay is available. He is for sale, but we want 40 million. Take it or leave it. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. I do think there's a strong chance that McTominay will leave because of his contract situation. Obviously, he only has 1 year left of his deal. So Manchester United either need to sell him or give him a new contract. That's the reality here. And in relation to actual McTominay, because a lot of people probably watch these videos and think like, it's all good and well you saying McTominay should be sold, but what does McTominay want? The story this evening is that club insiders say that McTominay is open-minded to the idea of moving to a new club to help secure regular first-team football. I mean, so he should do. He's not that old. He's 26, 27. He's a Scottish international. He should move on and seek first-team football. He's not going to get that at Manchester United, I don't think. He's going to be a bench player. He's going to be an impact sub. The midfield will be Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro and Bruno. If Ugarte comes in and Casemiro goes, it'll be Ugarte, Bruno and Mainoo, you know? So, yeah, we'll wait and see. There's people in the chat asking me about Ivan Toney. I don't know about Ivan Toney. It's gone pretty quiet as far as I'm aware. The issue with Ivan Toney is that there are lots of clubs who are interested in him. Apparently, West Ham, Tottenham, and Manchester United want to sign Ivan Toney. Brentford are asking for 50 million for Ivan Toney. I'm going to set up a poll. You can let me know your thoughts on it. Should Manchester United sign Ivan Toney for 50 million? The results of the last poll, 70% of people watching the video want Amrabat, 30% of you want Rabiot. So that's that bit. And the final poll for today's show will be this. Should United sign Toney for 50 million? I don't know. I think 50 million's a lot. If we could get him for like a bargain, we're talking like 30, 35 million, I think it would be a good bit of business. But yeah, I don't know. I think 50 million sounds like a lot. For a player who's effectively going to be competing with Xerxes and Højlund to start as a striker. So I would probably say no. But again, it would be interesting to see what other Manchester United fans have to say. Would you sign Ivan Toney for 50 million if you were given that option? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For me, it's a no. But again, I'm interested to see what other people think. I think as well, by the time Manchester United are ready to sign someone like Ivan Toney, it will probably be too late in the window, and West Ham or Tottenham would have signed him. Because we know for a fact that the priority is Ugarte, right? After that, it will probably be Ferdi Kadioglu, the right back. There was some people saying that apparently Wan-Bissaka has travelled to London for a medical at West Ham, but I think that's fake because I saw pictures of him in training today. So unless he went after training, I mean, that's a possibility. But yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka to West Ham does have momentum, but it's not a done deal yet. It's still, a work in progress. And obviously, if Wan-Bissaka goes, then we'll go and sign Ferdi Kadioglu. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. Lumen says, what is 50 million for a proven striker? Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point, but I mean, how many goals did Ivan Toney get last season? Let's have a look. Ivan Toney got... I know obviously he was banned for most of the season, but when he came back, I don't think he was particularly prolific, to be honest. I think he was pretty... I don't think he was that great, was he? He got 4 goals in 17 games last season, Ivan Toney. That's a goal every... It's like a goal every 4 games. I mean, is that prolific? I'm not sure if I would call that prolific. 4 goals in 17 games. Say he played the whole season. That would have been 9 goals in the whole season based on that amount of goals. That's less than what Højlund got. That's less than what Joshua Zirkzee got. So I know he's older, but it's not like he's won loads of trophies. I don't think he's ever won a trophy in his life, is he? Maybe like a promotion from the Championship to the Premier League. But yeah, I mean, so Joshua Zirkzee got 11 goals in 34 games. So Joshua Zirkzee's goals and assists tally last season was better than Ivan Toney's. And even if you say that, they played more games or whatever, if you do it based on how many, do you know what I mean? Yes. Neil says, when do you think they will officially announce Yoro? Apparently it's going to be today. Apparently. He's already signed the contract, so all that's left to do is the marketing stuff. The photos, the interview. I think it will be today. I think it will be this evening, maybe 8 o'clock. We'll get the photos. But he has signed. He's signed the contract. The deal's done. So there's nothing to worry about. I know people are excited. I know people want to see him in the shirt and all the rest of it. Ricardo says, would you sell Anthony and Casemiro? Mate, I would sell both of them. 100%. But will Manchester United be able to sell both Anthony and Casemiro? No, probably not. Maybe Casemiro, but Anthony's probably unlikely. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. It's been an amazing show. It's so hot in my room. It's 27 degrees in England. And obviously we don't have air conditioning in England because it's never hot. And it gets hot about 10 days a year, but it's literally boiling. I'm at the top of the house. I've got no windows open. I've got no fan, and I've got all these lights on me, so I'm literally sweating out. So I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been an amazing stream. If anything breaks later on today, I will go live. Please make sure to smash a like on the video before you go. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Welcome to all the new members as well we've had today. Thank you to all of the people who've done the super chats. I really appreciate it. I'll be back at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Obviously, if anything breaks, I will go live. Oh yeah, the giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner on the... So I put out a post on the community section of the website, on the YouTube channel. I'm going to announce the winners in the comment section of that post. So if you haven't entered this competition yet, you still have time to do it. I'll announce the winner in an hour's time. All you have to do is get in the video. Once this video goes live, get in the comment section and say, welcome Leny Yoro. Right? So not in the live chat. Once the video's published, click on the channel, click on the video, put welcome to Leny Yoro in the comment section. And in about an hour or two's time, I will let you know who has won the Manchester United shirts. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.